You know how you can have a really fantastic day, but then one tiny little negative thing happens, and suddenly that's all you can think about? Well, it turns out there's a reason for that. It's like a glitch that's hardwired into all of our brains.
Okay, let's try a quick thought experiment. Imagine you just finished a big project. You get 10 pieces of amazing feedback, just glowing comments. But you get one negative one, a little piece of criticism. Fast forward a few hours, which one is still bouncing around in your head? Yeah, for pretty much all of us, it's that one negative comment.
And if that feels painfully familiar, you are definitely not alone. But here's the most important part. This isn't some personal flaw. It doesn't mean you're a pessimist. It's actually a universal cognitive quirk, a thinking error that has a name, the negativity bias.
So, we've put a name to this brain glitch, but what does it actually do? Why does the bad stuff seem to have so much more weight, so much more staying power than all the good stuff? Let's get into it. Okay, so here's the official breakdown. The negativity bias is just our brain's default setting to pay more attention to the bad stuff. And it's not just that we notice it more, we remember it more clearly, and our emotional reaction to it is way more intense. It's almost like our brain puts every negative thing under a giant magnifying glass, while all the positive things just get a quick glance. And you can see this bias pop up in three main ways. First, bad events just feel more powerful. They hit us harder. Second, those bad memories, they have a much, much longer shelf life in our heads. And third, when you're trying to make a decision, a single piece of negative info can totally outweigh a whole bunch of positive facts. So you have to be asking, why on earth are we built this way? Well, it's not a bug, it's actually a feature, one that kept our ancestors alive. Let's dig into the evolutionary why.
And it really all comes down to this one simple, kind of brutal truth. Our brains evolved over thousands of years with one main job: keep us from getting eaten. Survival was priority number one, way above things like being happy or content. The brain that was always on high alert for threats, that's the brain that survived to be passed down.
And this is where you can really see the problem, right? There's this huge mismatch between our ancient programming and our modern lives. For our ancestors, ignoring a weird sound in the bushes could literally be a fatal mistake. Missing a threat was deadly. For us, missing a critical email is stressful for sure, but it's rarely a life or death situation. Our world has completely changed, but that basic alarm system in our brain, it has.
Okay, so we get it, it's an old survival instinct. But how does that Stone Age software actually mess with our perception of the world today in our everyday lives? We started with this one, and it's just the perfect example. You can get a performance review that's like 95% praise, just glowing stuff, but that one tiny area for improvement, man, that can make you feel like a complete failure for days. The bias just makes us zoom in on that one little flaw and totally ignore the mountain of good stuff.
This bias also has a huge impact on how we see the world, especially with the media we consume. Think about it. The news knows that scary, negative headlines grab our attention, and this quote just nails what happens next. When we're constantly seeing stories about conflict and disaster, our minds start to believe those things are way more common than they actually are.
And this is where the negativity bias can be, well, truly destructive. In our personal relationships, a single nasty argument or hurtful comment can completely overshadow countless happy memories and acts of kindness. The good stuff fades, but the bad stuff gets etched into our memory, and it can slowly but surely wear away a trust.
See? The really important thing to get here is that when this bias just runs wild, it's not harmless. It's a thief. It robs you of your peace of mind by jacking up your anxiety. It twists how you see yourself. It damages the most important relationships in your life, drains your motivation, and can lock you into this pessimistic view where you're just always waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Okay, but here is the good news, the really hopeful part. We are not just stuck with this ancient programming. We can absolutely learn to push back against it. So let's talk about 4 simple but really powerful ways to rebalance our thinking and take back control.
First things first, let's set a realistic goal here. The point isn't to somehow stop having negative thoughts. I mean, that's impossible. The goal is just to stop them from hijacking your brain and taking over your whole perspective. It's all about rebalancing the scales. All right, here's your toolkit. Step 1, just name it. The moment you catch yourself obsessing over that one negative comment, literally say to yourself, there's that negativity bias again. Seriously, just being aware of it helps loosen its grip. Step 2, you have to actively log the good stuff. Your brain won't do it on its own, so you have to force it. Write down 3 good things at the end of the day. It makes them stick. Step 3, zoom out. That one bad meeting, it's just one pixel. It's not the whole picture of your week or your career or your life. And finally, number 4, delay your reaction. When something bad happens, just pause, take a breath. That first intense emotional sting fades way faster than you think it will. So, when it comes down to it, learning to manage this bias isn't about being a Pollyanna or pretending that bad things don't happen. It's about learning to see the world more accurately, more realistically.
I think this quote is just the perfect way to wrap your head around all of this. The negativity bias doesn't mean your life is filled with danger. It just means your brain's alarm system for threats is set to be way louder than its little notification chime for all the safe, good, pleasant things. It's like having a smoke detector that screeches every single time you make toast. It's not wrong, it's just a little too sensitive.
And that's really the challenge for all of us, isn't it? It's learning not to just listen to those loud, blaring alarms all the time, but to consciously tune our attention to the quiet, good, and stable parts of our lives too. It's about seeing the storm cloud, for sure, but not letting it block out the fact that the sun is still shining. It's all about learning to finally see the whole picture.